Hi everyone, it's Katie Farner, Superstar Director for the Sunshine State Superstars, and this is video 7 in the Leap to Lead series. We have covered so much stuff in a very short amount of time, and as I said recently, I really mean it when I say that I am very proud of all of you for sticking the course and sticking it out. I know we've been covering a lot, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos, and it's been a lot to follow along with. So I'm so proud of you for sticking with it. This is only a month. It's only 4 weeks of your time. I promise you that this 4 weeks of dedication is going to pay off all throughout your spring and summer. So today in video 7, we're going to be talking about my favorite way to party and why it is an important aspect of your business. And that is home parties. Home parties really are the heart of a network marketing business. And the reason I say that is because in a home party setting, that is where you are in person interacting with other people. And that's where relationships, solid relationships, really can be formed and begin. And that know, like, and trust can be founded like no other place. With a basket party, it's really hard to build know, like, and trust relationships, right? Like that's more of a after the basket party happens, when you're doing your follow-up, that you're trying to make that happen. With an online party, there's some people that just aren't even on social media. But for the people that are on social media, it takes longer time to make that connection usually versus an in-person interaction. So really the home party, and even events, like if you think about an event, unless you are at an event that's moving at a slower pace, or if you have several people working your booth in an event, it's harder to spend quality time with people at an event setting. So a home party is a situation where you have maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours of dedicated time to focus on these people and pour into these people and create a solid foundational relationship with them. So that's why a home party really just can't be touched regarding relationship building and creating that know, like, and trust solid foundation. So that's one of the reasons why I feel like home parties are really an important aspect of this business, that if you are avoiding, you're kind of hurting yourself. I understand that for a lot of people, home parties can be really a stretch and a challenge. But as we know, comfort is the enemy of progress. It's one of my favorite quotes from The Greatest Showman. I love that movie so much. But that's one of my favorite quotes from there. P.T. Barnum said, comfort is the enemy of progress. And it is absolutely true. So you have to, if you want to grow up this career plan and you want to build a successful business with Scentsy, you have got to forget about your comfort and stop making your comfort a priority to you. Is your success a priority, or is your comfort a priority? Because you're not going to have both. You're not going to be a successful consultant and be comfortable, period. It has to be one or the other. So I want to challenge you to really think about that. Have you been putting your business first, or have you been putting your comforts first? So specifically talking about a home party, this is a place where a lot of people get uncomfortable. They are nervous about talking in front of other people, and it's just something a lot of consultants, I feel, tend to avoid. But I want to challenge you to just push yourself to do something you've maybe never done. Maybe you've never had a home party before. That's okay. We all have to start somewhere, right? We all have to have our first home party. And maybe your first home party needs to be your own. Maybe you need to do one at your house. Maybe you can't do one at your house. That's okay. Find a public place you can have one. If there's a community center nearby you or a public library, you can reserve a room at a public library for an hour Like there's so many things you could do. You could go to a local coffee shop, a local wine bar. You could ask a friend if you could use their space. You could, meet at a park, and the kids, you have kids, your kids can play, and your friends could bring their kids, and you guys hang out under a pavilion and sniff Cincy and chit chat. Like an in-home party doesn't even really have to be in home. It can just be, it just should be called a in-person party, right? Like an in-person party, a situation where you are with several other people and you are sharing Scentsy with them. That is it. You don't even have to do a formal presentation if you don't want to. Like I don't want you to think that you need to like stand up and be like, this is the presentation time and this and this. And you don't have to do that. But you do need to ensure that you have grabbed everyone's attention and you are talking about the products, explaining how the products work, showing them. And that does take you commanding the crowd, right? So whether you're doing that formally, standing up, or whether you're sitting with them at a picnic bench in the park, under that pavilion, and you're showing them the things, like that's totally cool too, especially if that's what you need to do to kind of dip your toe in the water. But I want you to understand the power of the home party. And the great thing about a home party as well is not only are you building solid know, like, and trust relationships, but you also have an easier time getting bookings, in my opinion. In my experience as a consultant for almost 8 years now, home parties have been my best booking tool consistently year over year. If I get into a booking slump, I know that I haven't done a home party in quite a while. It is obvious. If I have been doing home parties, I am in a consistent rotation of party, 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 party. But if my parties dry up and then I only have like 1 or 2 in a month, I know that next month I'm going to be in trouble because I'm not going to have as many bookings off of those parties. Home parties really lead to more home parties. And that's another reason why it's very important that you offer those and that you do home parties. And again, home parties just mean in-person parties. It doesn't have to be in a home per se. So I think that also helps you with booking home parties, and which is something I want to talk about as well. Booking home parties can be tough. So maybe your problem, I don't want to say booking home parties is tough because that's not what I mean. What I mean is I hear a lot that people struggle to book home parties. So there's just a lot of people out there that I feel like aren't doing home parties. And I think it's one of those two reasons. Either they're timid and afraid to do a home party, or they feel like they're struggling to get home parties booked. So let's talk about the struggling to get home parties to on your calendar. Is that you? So 2 things. One, I would say that you probably are not expanding beyond your network as you should. You probably have been kind of stuck in this group with your list of 100. You've probably just been cycling through those people a lot, and you're kind of partied out, and you haven't met anyone outside your circle in a while. And so that's probably one of the reasons why you're struggling to book parties. Because if you're only pulling from the same network of people, just like you're going to run dry for getting recruits, you're going to run dry for getting parties as well. So that would be my advice on that would be one piece of advice that I have for you on that. That is, be sure that you are doing what I talked about in video 3 and video 4, that you are focusing consistently on meeting new contacts every week, every month, throughout your life, throughout your daily life. And that is going to create more opportunities for you to have people to pull from to book those parties. So the other thing I'm going to say is I want you to be open to shifting your focus. And instead of maybe focusing on the no's that you're getting for the bookings, instead of focusing on the yeses that you're getting for these bookings, focus on the no's. So maybe for the rest of February, challenge yourself to get 10 no's for a home party each week. And you do not go to bed Sunday night or Saturday night, whatever you consider the last day of the week. Don't go to bed. Don't allow yourself to rest that night if you have not gotten your 10 no's for bookings yet, or 5 no's, or whatever you want. But instead of focusing on oh, I'm not getting, I'm not getting these yeses for these parties. Like nobody wants to book a party with me. Nobody wants to book a party with me. Shift your focus and pursue those no's for the bookings. Because what I see often is that people get so frustrated when they get a lot of no's that they just tend to give up. And instead of having those no's fuel them and knowing that those no's are leading to more yeses, they tend to just freeze and stop asking because they don't want to hear no anymore. So I really want to challenge you to shift your focus and pursue no's every week for booking home parties. So when it comes to asking for these home parties, the way you ask is really up to you. It needs to be authentic and coming from you. But one thing that I want to stress is, I'm not going to share a script with you because I don't feel like that necessarily works. It's got to be authentic. It's got to sound like it's genuinely coming from you. So when you're approaching people about doing an in-home party, a piece of advice that I would give you is to avoid using the word party. I try not to use the word party. Now, when I'm talking with you, fellow consultants, I do say the word party because it's just our lingo. But when I am talking with a potential hostess, I don't want to refer to it as a party. I like to call them sip and sniffs. Duke, are you okay, buddy? Duke's in my office in here with me, and he's in his little bed, and he buries himself so deep in his bed that sometimes he can't breathe. The dachshund way. Any of you that have dachshunds, I know you understand this. They love to burrow in their little blankets. So anyway, try not to use the word party. Try to call it a sip and sniff or a girls' night or whatever. But find some cute little lingo that is your own. Call it whatever you want to call it, but I would encourage you not to call it a party because I feel like people hear the word party and you get an instant eye roll. So I'm trying to change that. And then my other advice for booking parties is if you are doing an in-home party and your in-home party is awkward, uncomfortable, feels really forced, pushed, salesy, you're not going to get bookings off of your bookings. So when you do have your very first home party, I want you to spend some time watching some trainings and learning how to do a successful in-home party. Learn some tips for some people that are doing them and doing them well, and incorporate those into your party. Because if you are not offering a nice in-home party experience, you are certainly not going to get bookings off of bookings. So it's very important that when you do have that opportunity, you take it and you run with it and you make it fun, you make it non-salesy feeling and just relational and just a good time. So definitely there's tons of trainings out there to show you ideas and different ways that you can do an in-home party. So to book parties, you really want to pursue the no's, knowing that more no's is going to bring you more yeses. And if you're focusing on the no's, you don't get quite as discouraged when you get a lot of no's because okay, well, I'm not going to rest until I get 10 no's for home parties this week. It just shifts your focus, and that really helps. So shift your focus. Try to avoid using the word party, and make sure that when you do get a party, understand that it creates a cycle. But if you are not having an enjoyable home party experience for these guests, you're not going to be getting bookings off of bookings. So however you decide to approach people, reach out to them one-on-one. And just say something like, if they are already using Scentsy, I bet you're running low, and I'm sure you know some friends who are, using Scentsy products. I'd love to get together with you and your girlfriends and meet some of your friends from work, or, especially if these are people on your list of 100, you know them. So you could say oh, I'd love to get together with you and some of your friends from church, or you and some of your friends from work, or whatever. So say something specific and focus on the lightheartedness of it. Get together with you and some friends or whatever. Tell them we got a new catalog coming out in March, brand new spring and summer fragrances. And theme parties are always fun. You could even offer a themed party and say, let's have a spring cleaning, girls' night or whatever. Get creative and have fun with it. And when you do that, your hostess tends to have more fun with it too. So those are just a few tips to help you with booking home parties. But if there's something you want to dig into further, I'm going to share some links in our group that will give you some more insight on how to book parties and how to run some successful home parties as well. So I hope that this video has helped to highlight how great home parties are for your business and how important it is for you to get uncomfortable and push yourself to do something different and see the benefits of a home party. And home parties might not be your jam. Home parties might not be your favorite way to party, but it is still an important aspect of this business and something that is important for you to offer and be willing to do, because there's plenty of people out there that want in-home parties, don't want to do a Facebook party, don't want to do a bag party. And if you're not willing to do it, that customer is going to find another consultant who is. So it's definitely something that you've got to be comfortable with offering and willing to do for your customers. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Oh, wait. Oh my God, I forgot. I'm sitting here saying bye and I didn't give you a challenge. So your challenge, in case you hadn't already figured it out, your challenge is for the next week, this coming week. So obviously you can't really complete this in the next 48 hours, but with this week, I want you to pursue 10 no's for booking parties. And I want to hear back your results for that at the end of this week. So let's see, this video, I'm making this on Sunday, and this is for tomorrow, Monday. So you have until Friday night. Well, no, I'll give you Saturday night. You have until Saturday night at midnight to have gotten your 10 no's for home parties. And I want to hear all about it. So that's your challenge. It's really a challenge for the week, not a 48-hour challenge, but that's cool. We can mix it up, right? It doesn't have to always be the same. So good luck on your 10 no's and have a fantastic week. Bye, superstars.